Okay, so today begins the day where we are going to do a bunch of rearranging because all of my kids and my husband are working from home now. This table in our kitchen nook actually used to be my son's desk when he was in high school. He chose this because it's wide, so it fits his monitors and his homework and his snacks. I had gotten, when he went to college, I had gotten rid of our table that was previously here. We'd had it for 13 years and it was in bad shape. And my idea was that we would be able to purchase a replacement table by the time he moved home in May, but now he moved home in March, so it sped up that process. So the new table is arriving today. So this was previously my office after my son went to college, and this desk, my husband used to work from home, and then he changed jobs back in June and got a job where he didn't work from home. So this desk was in his office, and I took this and put it in this office, which was my son's space to do schoolwork when he lived at home in high school and middle school. So now we're moving that table back into this room, and then this desk, I believe we are going to move into our living room, and my husband and I will be sharing this desk space. So this is our living room. It's attached to this office space, which actually when we moved into the home was a dining room, and I just changed out the light fixture and made it an office. But we were thinking that we could move these chairs and put that desk right here. So we'll have to mess around with the setup in this room and see if we can make that work. Before I start any sort of project like this, I like to go ahead and clean the space first. So I'm going to go ahead and vacuum and e-cloth mop these two spaces. With this e-cloth mop, you technically don't need to use any sort of cleaning product. You can just wet the pad, and that works to clean and disinfect. But I like to have a clean smell in my spaces, so I'm just going ahead and using an all-purpose cleaner to spray before I mop it up with just water. Here I'm just rearranging things, trying to make this setup work in this spot. So you'll see me just kind of moving things around and seeing if this will actually work here. And here you'll see me do some more rearranging, trying to find a setup that might work with the desk in this space. I will keep rearranging. This is part of the reason why I don't typically rearrange things in my home other than my decor. My furniture pieces I typically leave alone just because it's hard for me to find a setup that I like, and it takes me a while to get used to a new setup as well. Ultimately, I decide to take these chairs and that end table into a completely different room. I just felt like it was going to make the room feel too cramped, and so I'm happy with the decision that I made in the end. Next, I'm just going to put together the new table that I purchased from All Modern. This video is not sponsored, but I do really like this website a lot. I think they have good prices for the quality of the furniture. This is, I believe, the second piece of furniture I have bought from that website, and I will say this table was very, very easy to put together. The table that we had purchased for my son's office space a few years back was from IKEA, and I think it took 4 or 5 hours to put together. This table, I believe, took me about 15 minutes at the most to put together, so it was really simple. And all the parts, there was actually no instructions, all the parts were already together, the bolts and washers were already pieced together the way they were supposed to be, so it made it super simple. And here I'm just going to show you how the bolts were put together in the package, making it really easy. Here's a little trick that I'll share with you when we have an item that may need to be taken apart in the future and it has specific tools for that item. I like to write on a label the item's name, and then I stick the label to the tools that it belongs with, and that way in the future when we need to take this table apart, I'll have those tools labeled and ready to go. Since this was my son's office, I decided to recruit him to help us with this process. He is a freshman in college, and so this will be his workspace as he finishes out his freshman year. And if you're interested, I do have 2 other children. My daughter is a senior in college, just finishing up her coursework. She has a desk in her bedroom, which is where she will work. And then our youngest son is still in high school, and he was doing online school before this whole coronavirus thing happened. And his desk is also in his bedroom. They're both comfortable in those spaces, so that is where they will be working for the remainder of the semester. I also recruited my husband for some heavy lifting. That desk, the drawers with the files would not come out, so we had to just leave the files in there. We could have removed all the files, but the desk wasn't being moved far, and I figured with the 2 guys, they could handle it. Next, we are just gonna move the table that was in my kitchen nook and move that back to my son's office as his desk. It's up to you.
That's easy to change later.
Yeah.
This thing.
Well, except for the blocks. We need to put these blocks in.
See? Saving kids' toys served a purpose.
And now we're just going to move the new table into the kitchen nook.
decided to move our chairs from the living room down here to our game room. Thank you for watching my video today. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to my channel, I would appreciate you considering subscribing.